At the moment, the iPhone is produced in China. Wage costs are much lower. They have huge amounts of factory space that have been grown up in recent years, and they've got this competitive advantage in producing goods at a low price and then shipping it overseas to US consumers. If Trump's tariffs worked in the way that he wanted them to, it would have manufacturing in states across the US.
Millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones. That kind of thing is going to come to America.
With a higher cost to produce that same product. It would cost, potentially 3 times as much, around $3,500, according to one analyst. Trump is going into a trade war with China and the rest of the world in an attempt to get more jobs back into the US economy.
We're going to take other countries' jobs.
The question is whether that will be successful, and most economists doubt that it will be. The US had imposed huge tariffs in the 1930s when we had the Great Depression, which had a deadening effect on the economy.
The richest country in the world began a bitter journey downhill. The stock market buckled and crashed, and the nation's economy plummeted into the depression.
At that point, unemployment rose to 25%. People still in work had their wages cut by 40% as the US economy struggled for growth. It was the worst period in history for the US economy. It led the conditions towards the Second World War. Over the past decade since the Second World War, tariff rates have generally been reduced very steadily since the post-war era to attempt to try and integrate the global economy, to have greater trade through nations as one of those guarantors of peace between countries. On the flip side of this globalization, that's led to the offshoring of jobs, and we're seeing that backlash in multiple countries.
Foreign leaders have stolen our jobs. Foreign cheaters have ransacked our factories.
We saw the same in the UK with Brexit.
If there was a tariff barrier war, it would hurt them more than us.
We see the same in continental Europe with the rise of far-right parties in Germany and France, where there is a desire to unpick some of that globalization.
Make Germany great again!
To return manufacturing, blue-collar jobs to economies where they've drained out in recent years, to attempt to rebuild that sector, what seemed to be the stability of those countries for the future.